Beyond wholeness is the surrender open into continuity with infinity, to have no boundaries. So everything you do, everything you speak, every action you perform is spontaneously arising from the deepest place of the divine, from love, from consciousness. It's a spontaneous dance, a manifestation, a magical display, and infinity showing itself through these forms, through everything you do. That's the third stage. And to do that, you need someone or something or a practice or grace to draw you beyond wholeness. So it's beyond wholeness. So the three stages are, I need a man, we'll use the word need, let's say. I don't need a man. And the next stage is, a man opens me more than I can open myself to God. I don't need one. I could take care of myself. But myself isn't good enough anymore. I want to be wide open. And I find that certain man, a man perhaps, opens me wide without boundaries more often, more consistently than I do on my own. So how do you choose a woman? You feel the woman whose heart is most inviting and will tolerate nothing less than consciousness. How does such a woman choose you? You worship the radiance of her heart. When you look into her eyes, you feel into her deepest heart, like a flower, like the petals of a flower. You're just opening, you're feeling deep. Even if she's got fear on her eyes and she's just come home from a day of work and she's got that kind of like angular, you know, some women when they're like, they're full of angular, masculine, you know, and then, and because they've been making decisions all day and they're moving directional masculine energy through them. It's real easy for a masculine person to be less attracted to that. But what you need to do in the third stage is feel through all of that and evoke the depth of yearning in her heart that is always there. In the deepest part of her heart, she wants to be ravished open to God. She wants to feel the divine, and she wants to feel you loving her open to the divine. If you can offer that through the glance, 2-second glance, through the way you stand to her, just every aspect, the way you're breathing. If everything about you is, I am consciousness and you are mine, she'll go, ah, finally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a woman offer her radiance, her seductiveness, her enchantingness, and if you feel that your partner, either of you, wavers, gets lost, smack him to teach him to stay present, because your life depends on it. And the reason we're doing this is because what men trust in men and what women trust in men is their capacity to remain present through thick and thin. Every time you're distracted by anything, your value as consciousness diminishes. And this is just one little exercise to help you, but we'll see how it works. So just keep practicing. Don't let them waver. Good. Very good. So nod to yes, he got you. Good. Okay. Have at them. Any other ladies who think you could help, you're welcome to join and try to distract these guys. You're either deeply conscious or a moron. Good, stay with it. This guy's got it. Round of applause for the man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Now you lost it with the applause, so we know that both of you prefer vanity over sex. Very good. Stay with it. Because you love each other, you want to train each other to remain conscious. Well, I talk to the crowd, just keep practicing. How would Gowran Bay feel if all the men were, at minimum, this conscious while they carried out their day? Better or worse than it does now? All these men have just come back from war. That's how they feel anyways. It's like, the world, the job, you know. So, and they came back from war, and you are here to heal their heart, to make their heart feel, wow, life does have beauty. Life is a mysterious, wonderful, juicy place. So offer them that gift. And how are you going to open her to God tonight? Is he doing it already?
Yeah.
Stay with it. When you're walking around, actually feel like I'm offering myself to claim me, claim me, claim me. Every step you take as you walk around, just feel the desire in your heart to be claimed by that depth or more of consciousness that he just offered you. Don't settle for anything less. Don't even chit-chat with anyone less unless it's something you have to do. And just continue offering that claim and you will attract that into your life tomorrow. You need to stand in that fullness that you were just offering the group, that yearning, that opening. Don't collapse, just stay open. You can cry.
Subconscious.
That's okay. So keep offering that depth of claim as a practice. Can you feel how to do it?
Yeah, it's so scary.
It's scary. It is very scary, and that's why you don't do it and why you end up with men who are less than you deserve.
Yeah.
To get a man who you deserve, you've got to go through that fear, because you'll attract men who are as afraid as you are. Just out loud say, claim me deep masculine consciousness. Just say that.
Claim me deep masculine consciousness.
And mean it.
You want me to say it again?
Really say it in your words.
Claim me deep masculine consciousness.
Beg. To consciousness, please.
Please claim me deep masculine consciousness. I want no less.
Thank you. So can you feel how difficult it is to maintain that openness?
It's totally terrifying.
There's pattern. It's terrifying.
Totally.
That terror is what you're going to have to feel perpetually if you want a man at least as full as he was.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
I need you to understand this, that it's not going to feel comfortable all the time to offer that depth of desire. You're going to hurt, you're going to feel fear. You have to continue offering it if you want a man of depth to claim you.
Okay.
Full, take me, God, but I'm yours. So what all practice is simply undoing the knots or closures that prohibit the infinite mystery, the divine love consciousness, what it is, from happening fully through your embodiment.
The cult of love, the attachment and the identity with love could be the very thing that stops me or forces me to leave the most loving relationship I've ever had in my life.
You will have to decide what you are committed to. Are you committed to her, or are you committed to serving her open to God?
To serving her open to God, for sure.
Okay, let's stop there for a moment. If it ever came to a point where your presence in her life was no longer serving her open to God as much as your absence would, where would your commitment lead you?
Yes, it would inevitably lead to separation in that situation.
But you would be maintaining your commitment. There are false commitments or shallow commitments, and there are deeper commitments. Does she want you to commit to being with her even if it's the worst thing for both of you? You might have to make some choices that are very painful and difficult, and ongoingly painful and difficult. Is she growing better without you than with you? Are you growing? Is the world being served in ways that weren't being served before? Does she want you to commit for the rest of your life to do your best to open her to God and for her to open you to God? Possibly she commits to that. Let's assume so for the moment. In that, it's an absolute commitment. It's a commitment that never wavers whatsoever. But since bodies waver and minds waver, you don't commit to bodies and minds, you commit to the divine.
Yeah.
And your life becomes lived by something far beyond anything you could comprehend. You never know where you're going, you don't know who you are, no relationship, no security, there's no foundation whatsoever to your life, except you are being lived by an absolute intensity of love or consciousness.
You see, from the moment I saw you, this is my language, but I saw you as a killer, you know. The real thing, you know, I sense death around you. Death, I mean the death of the ego, the death of identification, the really spiritual warrior. And it freaks me out. Because I can do two things with a sense from you. Either play the sexual, make our relationship better, or I can truly get what you say in a much deeper way. And then, then you're free-falling. And it's just very scary.
It's very scary. And we all do that, you know. You call me the slayer of the ego and so forth, but I get upset when I get a stain on my pants. So it's, you know, we're all doing the same thing. We want to keep things a certain way. And those are just amusements.
It's just the safety in the love, trusting the love. Yeah,
trusting love.
Trusting the love.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
What human evolution is trusting love, or trusting that everything is love so intensely that you're no longer afraid. You know, as children, we depend on our parents for love. They don't always give it to us. They're not enlightened. So we develop ways of little tiny secret habits of loving ourselves. Mommy doesn't love me. I'll go into my room and eat. I'll go into my room and masturbate. I'll go into my room and do this. I'll go outside and play. I'll find another man who will love me if Mommy and Daddy won't love me. I mean, we do things that we hope will get us love. And eventually we grow, that's what I call the first stage. We eventually grow beyond that into the second stage. And in the second stage we learn to love ourselves. We go, I don't need a man, I don't need masturbation, I don't need candy, I can just love myself. I love myself, I'm beautiful the way I am, I deserve love, everyone's responsible for them, I'm responsible for myself, I can love myself. And you put little things on your refrigerator that says, you know, you're worthy of love, and you repeat things to you. And that doesn't work either. That's just a form of separation. You are everybody. It's not like they have their deal and you have your deal. It's one deal. We're all just animating mistrust of love unless we're opening as love.
So the choice is separation or love, basically. That's the bottom line.
And separation is fear. So you're either afraid, you're doing fear, or you're doing love. But when you're doing love, you're just coinciding with what is true, that you are love. And so there's an effortlessness to it, but the practice is intense because those rubber bands of fear are so habitual that they keep coming back, and unless you then counteract them doing love. Now love is who you are, so you're just doing what you are. In that sense it's effortless. But since you tend to do fear, you have to counteract that. If you could find that place in you now, because you are there now too, that place that is love, all that is wide open, that is consciousness, that is love continually, and reside there, offer that, be that. That's free fall that you were talking about. So in a third stage relationship, you would actually agree to violate all preferences for the sake of love. You would actually agree that both of you are willing to suffer through or to enjoy whatever occurs when you allow love to live you, when you allow the deepest possible love or consciousness or divinity to unfold through your relationship. What is going to be the consequences of that? You don't know until you do it. For your health, and for the health of the relationship secondarily, but for your health, you have to get a life. You have to decide what your life's about and do it absolutely and live it so fully. She is begging you to give her some of that energy and attention. I think you need to be showing her such a pillar of strength and a pillar of clarity and a pillar of love in every moment. So you do what you have to do that. Meditation, yoga, study with a teacher, go out in the wilderness, lift weights. I don't know what for you, what combination of things. You just have to do what you have to do and get it together and go all of the way. And nothing else is going to stop you. Not her, not your worries, not your fears, not the social climate. Just do what you have to do to know your deepest purpose and live it. And then you hold that like a staff, and she could hold on to that staff with you or not. But until you have that staff planted firmly in the ground, until you know where you're going, until you're grounded and adept, that when women hear you talk, they're going, good, I hope she dumps him because I'm on that train if she gets off. And one thing I could picture you doing is walking onto that land like a lion